Well, I'm glad I was full of energy and life and didn't go to bed and stuff because actually I didn't mention it. After the last video, I realized about midnight that the sprinklers hadn't come on, and realized that the Starbucks manager had obviously, because he could see that I was up, hadn't gone to bed and stuff like that, and so I cleared the space. Not until almost 1 o'clock and stuff, and then because the management or manager assistants will stay when they're expecting a delivery right after closing time, and so actually I stayed dry and everything. It was still warm, and then despite the fact that after I finished charging this afternoon about 3 o'clock, I checked the weather forecast, which actually my buddy Bruno checks it every day, a couple times a day, and he had the same, which was we had zero chance of rain tonight or tomorrow. That's all I was concerned about. But yet, I was puttering around, and I actually took separated my new jacket, heavy jacket. Actually, I had it in a plastic bag for dirty laundry, but it really wasn't dirty enough so I put it in my duffel. I bagged up my new shoes, which I'll eventually wear. I just didn't like the stiff soles at first and stuff. I was just doing things and come to find out I really needed it because all that stuff now is not soaked. And I had my plastic bags handy, and around, it's been more than an hour or something, and I noticed off to the south over Austin, there was all of a sudden thunder and lightning. And within a few minutes, we had some gusts, and we got about a quick 0.6 of an inch of rain. And even though I had just cleaned out the drain to handle the runoff from them watering around the building, because it's quite a bit, it comes in, that quick runoff overwhelmed the drain. It's actually backed up almost to where I'm at now because I'm beyond the drip ledge of the tree. And there was a little break. I'm really only damp from the knee down. I've got my my last umbrella. It broke a rib, and then quickly after that, a gust grabbed it, and actually I told Bruno I think it actually blew it on the parkway, and it quickly was ground up by traffic. And I immediately replaced it, even though the forecast was calling for dry weather, because this umbrella keeps me dry. And also, already had on my light little hoodie and then my rain jacket on top of it. So I'm warm and dry. I was prepared as soon as the first drops, and actually we had hail. We had a mixture of hail. The hail was varying from early peas or whatever you call them up to dime size. It was a mixture of rain and hail I think we're up to now almost an inch. We had a second round, and Bruno says that they're threatening, at least in his region to the east of here, up till 10 a.m. there may be continued rain. And it sure feels like it, but as soon as the first drops fell, being a homeless person who's not stupid, actually, if I had gone to bed when I normally do and stuff like that, I would have ended up soaked. My bags would have been soaked. Actually, I would have remained dry, but then my bags would have been soaking wet, necessitating absolutely a trip to the laundromat the next morning, where they would need not only just drying, they would need to be washed because, like the older bag, I've been in contact with the soil a lot. And so, as it is, I'm fine. It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. If I need to, I'll go up to Walmart and do a chemical bath, and I have a fresh, clean set of clothes, underwear, shirt, pants, underwear, brand new pants. I need to take So, I'm glad I had this little burst of life. I've been enjoying it. I've been putting together my music mix. I'm trying to accumulate my top 1,000 songs. I'm doing the easy ones now, the ones but there's a lot more obscure ones I want to get to. But I'm glad I was prepared, and I noticed, and then I checked the moisture layer in the blue spot indicating real rain that was over Austin, actually just headed straight up here to Pflugerville. And I got a feeling it's not over yet, and I don't really trust their imagery. And of course, their forecast was pure bullshit, because at 3 o'clock I checked the graphs and all the numbers and shit, and they were saying 0 chance of precipitation. But anytime in Texas, and especially around wintertime, when it stays close to 80 degrees till almost midnight, the chance of it running into some, that moist air running into a little bit of cool air is a possibility. So it happened, even though these brilliant climatologists and meteorologists said it wasn't going to happen. It happened, but I was prepared. Like right now, like I said, I'm really only damp from the knees down. That's beyond because I like to lean my umbrella back to keep the rain off of my backpack, which has critical shit in it, which includes my less set of clean clothes. I've actually been wearing these clothes for about 14 days, because today is the 15th, and I think I put them on around the 2nd or something like that, or maybe even been the 1st. I don't. Yeah, there's a little truck. Anyway, it's calming down. Actually, there were some gusts where I was really having to make sure I hung onto this umbrella so it didn't blow onto the parkway. Gusts were coming out of the south. That's where the rain came from, and that's normal, because that's where the moist air is coming from, warm, moist air. There must have been a little incursion of cold air from the north, and it precipitated, and after they had already irrigated. So, that's the next thing I have to deal with. The cold may be over, although right now I think it's around 68 or 66 degrees, and fortunately my upper body and head's nice and warm, but I'm a little chilly from the knee down. But that body heat will quickly dry out, and they're not really, and it's a thin fabric. These new clothes and stuff, I've never seen such thin fabrics. I just didn't know they could really make that, stuff that, get away with making it that thin. Like on Levi's, they tell you what the weight is, the weight of the cloth. That's how they judge the quality, is by how heavy it is on the denim. Anyway, it's been a productive evening. My mood is still good. I just, and I'm glad I was ready, because I knew exactly where I had my trash bags and stuff, and I crammed both of those sleeping bags. As soon as they got a few drops of rain on them, I was shoving them in that bag. I wanted to wait until and tied it good and tight, and then turned it upside down. Never leave it upright. Turn it upside down so it all would run off and wouldn't get up in the, because there's always going to be a little hole there unless I, double bag it and do all kind of shit and then lay it sideways. There's an art to it, to only using one bag and keeping it dry. Although I don't really know where I'm going to sleep other than right in this spot. The flooding, it overwhelmed the drain, like I said, and the flooding came up almost to where my feet are right now. I got just a little over this is where it will turn and start heading, overflowing into the parkway, but there wasn't that much rain. It actually made it onto that grass, but I had a pretty good sized puddle of water here. It was pretty big, and at its deepest point right around the drain, it was about 9-10 inches deep and going pretty much taken up. Anyway, that was totally unexpected, because these brilliant climatologists and meteorologists, they're just always so precise and perfect. They know everything, you know what I'm saying? Yet at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and when Bruno checked in the evening, he always watches the weather, we're the sons of farmers. weather is one thing that we always talk about. If it's a weather issue, that's when, because often our conversations can be kind of short and brief and well composed, so that, because some people just use a lot of words but don't say much, but me and Bruno use few words and say a lot. As you can tell, I'm in a good mood because I know, like I may have said, at 6 a.m., I can Uber up to Walmart, do a chemical bath, and put on fresh, clean clothes and be spotless. I could also go up to Whataburger for the grumpy old men's morning. They actually start meeting up there about 4 o'clock, right about now. I could just sit there and pretend to drink coffee, because I ain't drinking no more coffee. I don't think they have tea, but I could just sit there and put a lot of sugar in it, and it'd probably be that chemical sugar, that Franken sugar, that hydrolyzed shit from starch and from sugar beets or from the remnants of sugar cane. They do that too. But it could be a lot worse. Let's just put it like that. It could be fucking 48 degrees and wet. Easily. All I have on is a light hoodie and then a hoodie, raincoat, and because it's windproof and waterproof, I'm warm from the knees up and keeping my spine and torso nice and warm. And it's about time for my next pain pill, so I'll be fine. And stuff. Me and Bruno just been chatting for about 20 minutes, texting back and forth. I need to go ahead and switch to speech to text. I'm pretty sure that's what he uses, and the way he pauses, he's got it trained. He uses, really good, because he's an attorney. He has to communicate a lot by, emails are admissible in court and stuff, and attorneys communicate almost exclusively by emails. I know he always has. He's been training them phones forever. He usually just does speech to text. Actually, I was enjoying just before the rain. There's nobody around. It was peaceful and quiet. I'd watch maybe a brief video and then pick out another song to add to my mix list. I'm less than 100, and there's a lot of kind of songs that are obscure to you but are great songs. And I'm gonna get on the list. This first 100 I picked out, most people will really enjoy them. And stuff. A lot of them are big hits. The Starbucks morning crew it should be 4:20 right about now. Looks like they're already showing up. And I really want to kind of thank the manager, because normally, I forgot it was already past midnight, and I realized, oh shit, I got to move, because the sprinklers usually come on at 11 or sometime a little before 11. I managed to move and get out of range, and they eventually came on, and then shortly after that comes the cold may be over, and now what I got to deal with is a combination of just less than hot weather with potentially a lot of rain. Anyway, I was just checking in with you. I just wasted 15 minutes of your life catching you up on the Texas weather here, and just trying to let you know I was ready. I was prepared. The pain relief allowed me to get up and get everything really compacted and sorted properly and stuff like that, in case I wanted to do laundry in the morning. Nah, I don't think so, because I don't want to be dragging in bags. Because it's going to be muddy around here for another day or two. The most I might accomplish is going up and doing a chemical bath, either at 7-Eleven or up at Walmart, and stuff, and putting on, a fresh, clean. Actually, the pants are brand new and never been worn. I got to take the tags off before I take them up to Walmart so they won't think that I shoplifted them. Although it'd be obvious because I'll just go straight in with my backpack and a little wheelchair, but I don't have anything to buy there. I've still got 3 bags of Tate's chocolate chips. Hey, John Alonzo. I was telling John, I like them chips so good that, and they're not, actually, especially because of the quality of the chocolate chips with the chocolate liqueur in it, you can't make really good chocolate coffee without chocolate liqueur, without those sweet alcohol shit that a lot of these, like, what's that, Toscani or Tofrani, those coffee flavoring, they've got a sweet alcohol in there, just like, vanilla extract. I don't like that. It doesn't come out. It has to be baked or to run that alcohol off, that sweet alcohol. But I don't really have anything to buy at Walmart. I don't really need anything from Walmart. I guess I could buy a few jugs of water just to make but that's kind of looking like what I'm going to do right now, because it's stupid to do laundry. I'm just trying to show you how an intelligent homeless person thinks, is if I do laundry and stuff like that, the muddy surfaces and stuff like that, and then I really need to go ahead and get at least another night out of those sleeping bags, because the new bag, it's really clean. The outer bag is more dirty because that's what I use to protect the inner bag before I jump into laundering them and stuff. And see, I have to think about shit all the time. I get kind of annoyed when people come up and try to do my thinking for me and stuff like that. I'm kind of having a little problem with a certain party with that right now. And I try to remind her that I'm doing the thinking. I really like to do things when people often think they're helping me, but they don't realize that by the time we negotiate going somewhere or doing something, I might run out of gas or change my mind due to pain or other, It's better that I do, when I feel exactly at the moment that I feel ready to do it, I hit Uber. That's why because it just doesn't work out. It's only occasionally if people, I go like, are you heading towards Walmart? Could you try, it works out. They drop me there and I Uber back. That's what you have to do when you have limited mobility and quirky, Because actually right now I'm fatigued, and despite pain relief, and especially because this little quick burst of activity at the last minute, my left arm and shoulder are aching a bit. It's time to take another pain pill and stuff, because it's a 2-armed, job to stuff 2 oversized sleeping bags into one 30-gallon, because that's the way it needs to be. It needs to be really compressed in there, so there's really no room for water and I'm sure they've got a little damp on them, but they're perfectly dry actually here after a while. If I check the radar and the moisture deal, it looks like I'll get out. I think I got the old bag on top, and I'll just, pretty much right here, just pull it up over my legs, because it'll be kind of chilly right at sunrise, and try to take a nap. And I can put off, because to tell you the truth, I went to Target today, to CVS, and because I'd done my hair, and even though I've been wearing these clothes for 14 or 15 days, they're pretty much spotless. I look clean. There's a lot of people, they're working men going around that are, they're filthy because they're working men. You can't expect anybody except the rich to be clean all the time. Yeah, I know I'm talking long, but it's helps me pass the time. And it's also telling me that we're having a little break now. I think I may go over and charge it because my headset is, one of them ran down and shut off, and I may go over and charge because it doesn't take me long. It'll give me something to do. All I got to do is I think I got a little kefir lit. I usually take something to drink and just sit there, and I only got to smoke a couple of 3 cigarettes, maybe do some mouthwash, brush my teeth, and the phone's charged and my head's, I'm so glad that we're moving up to these high wattage charging type phones. They've always been able to do it. I don't know why I think a lot of it was just the poor quality of their chargers. Those for original like block chargers and stuff like that, they used to burn up all the time because the battery was really pulling on them. I remember a lot of people had problems with their chargers failing because they just couldn't handle what the battery could handle. Anyway, I've talked too much, 20-something minutes. I'm just trying to give you the update. It's somewhere around 4 o'clock or past 4 o'clock. Maybe it's like 4:20, because that's when the Starbucks crew usually comes in. And anyway, I better get to. Actually, I think I'm just going to go right over because it's start charging up. I think I'm down to around 40% on the phone. It won't take me long to charge up and get my. There's no telling what the hell I'll do in the morning. Probably most likely I'll be sitting right here with half of me in a sleeping bag, keeping my legs warm and kind of covering up. Actually, this fabric is so thin. These pants and other stuff, it'll probably dry really quickly. But I was kind of pissed off when it rained, when they said it was like 0. I was getting temperature, wind direction and speed, and at the bottom, chance of rain, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then went down, going into tomorrow, 0, 0, 0, 0. And Bruno said they got a pretty good, there wasn't much wind, it just started coming down. And they said they were being threatened with hail, but we hadn't seen any yet. And we were getting, some of the chunks of hail were dime sized. Some were coming in sideways and kind of stinging me. Anyway, as you can tell, my mood's much improved because I'm not depressed. Pain is a very depressing thing and anxiogenic, and because you don't know whether it's going to let up or get worse. It's a long time till sunrise. It's because of the time change. It's now doesn't really get light till about 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm still looking at another 3 hours of darkness. The only thing I can really think to do right now is to get up on the pavement up next to the building and use my time profitably by charging up. Because my batteries, I've still got like 3 batteries that are pretty much useless because they really they do support rapid charging, but it's really not working with this phone. Really requires more than those batteries can put out. It will just slows the whole thing down. Thank you for that little musical interlude, buddy. I loved it in that period from it was around about 12:30 or something to about 2:30 or whatever when it started raining. I can actually see what the fuck is that? I think the other sprinklers have come on. The ones that cover the grass. Or is it raining again? Hang on, let me check. I think they do that. They have this sprinkler set up to where it'll do 2 sessions. Oh God, don't mess up my glasses. Yeah, it's fucking running from. I think that's just the sprinkler. Oh yeah, sprinklers came on again. Brilliant. It just rained close to an inch, and the sprinklers are coming over on again, including the ones out on the grass. So it's just fucking really, that's going to be the area around the tree there where it's going to be a muddy mess for a couple of days. I'm going to be sitting over here. I'll have to move my little stove and tea set over here, because otherwise I get that shit all over my shoes, and then your shoes will accidentally, when you're crossing your legs, it gets them on your pants. I'm not about to. It kind of gives me an incentive not to change clothes. You know, everybody been saying that, you know, even the Uber drivers, you know, kind of apologizing, and especially Sarah, whose car was absolutely odor free. She said, "Oh, you're fine. You don't," you know. And I really don't. It's a bit swell. My bully likes to call me stanky, but the reality is that rarely have I ever had much body odor, and that was because I was eating frankenfood in the food desert of East Austin. It's 26 minutes now. I'll let you go. I just was wondering where all that water was coming from, and it's really running heavy on this. It's going to be a mess over there. I'm going to have to be careful stepping in, picking stuff up. It's like all my food and stuff is over there. I got to, life gets complicated. I like kind of being settled in there where everything I get, you know. But I was expecting, I knew that the next challenge coming up was how much water are we going to get between, say, now and June, when it's supposed to traditionally slow down. Anyway, I'll let you go. I think I better go start charging battery, charging this battery, upload this, and then charge up. I'll just charge the headset first, earbuds. By the way, I wanted to mention, have you ever noticed, I was going to actually do a video, have you ever noticed how people with even expensive earbuds and stuff, after a few months, they'll go like they're having trouble hearing? And I had to explain to like one of my medical drivers and stuff like that, as I told him, is that I'd already figured out with my first set that just the vibration from the earbuds has a tendency to maybe make a milligram of earwax hit that water resistant fabric coating over the, and then the vibrations also just spread it out evenly where you really can't see it or tell it, and it just completely kills the volume of the device. And you have to, I just did it like 2 days ago on this, my newest set. I took a needle, I didn't have and gently pried. It actually had a little O-ring in there holding that fabric in place. And very carefully, and I held it upside down while getting out that little bit of earwax stuff. Took them out. I always end up taking them out after 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Because if you don't, that earwax, inevitably, there's nobody that's earwax free. That's what really kills the performance of those earbuds. You can spend $328 for a pair of earbuds that I don't think they've come up with a way yet to prevent a single milligram of earwax from just cutting the volume to half. I don't like that camera angle. Anyway, actually the air almost feels a little warmer than before. Let me check my pants. Actually, the back of the calves are dry. It's really just the top of the knees and kind of a little bit on the shins. The sprinkler system is still just pumping out water. Well, we got a little rain. If David Farley's watching, hopefully the crepe myrtles will bloom this year, because they're just gorgeous. They're one of the most beautiful plants in Texas, and they bloom all summer. Just prolific bloomers. You know, it's like the bougainvillea down south. and stuff. I just blew them all winter. And the SpaceX deal, Boca Chica, that's really kind of a nature area and stuff like that. That's right close to where I used to live. Had an apartment in Brownsville, which is the American side, right across from Matamoros and stuff. So I know that area. When they say the Boca Chica, there's only one Boca Chica in that area. And anyway, I know I'm rambling, but a lot of that's because I'm really happy that this rain, while unforecast, unpredicted, still wasn't heavy and horrible, where just everything is muddy as shit. The area where I want to be, under the tree, is going to be muddy for 3 days. It'll be 3 days before, well, if we get a lot of sunlight, it might speed it up, but then again, they're supposed to irrigate tomorrow night again around between 8 or 9 o'clock. They're supposed to be limited due to the water restrictions to Saturday. My day of rest, I've got to be dodging their water. But anyway, my sleeping bags are dry. I'm dry above the knees, and it's not cold. It's not really windy. And I said, almost looked like somebody sitting out on the patio. Could be. At Starbucks. I know I'm talking 30 minutes, and I can see my own camera off my. I just prefer to wear the glasses because I was looking at where the water was coming from, and yeah, it's stopped now. But they do that. They'll do it because that's the way to do it. Wet it, get it opened up, and get it, ready to absorb the next round. If you try to do it all at once, a lot of it runs off. Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't a deluge. I'm glad it wasn't no 2 to 3 inch rain that would just made everything sloppy for days and days and days. We'll recover from this real quick. I'll see you guys later. I was just keeping you up on and entertaining myself. Please remember, I do a lot of this as therapy. Just talking about, daily events. This was the first rain we had in quite a while. And I'm glad that right after that, I already mentioned, after that umbrella broke a rib and it blew it out I replaced it immediately. Actually, I was surprised that they were only about $18 for a 48-inch umbrella. Totes are pretty good manufacturer, and these umbrellas have saved me from a lot of discomfort, just sitting and hunkering down in relatively warm weather and stuff like that, and just waiting out the fucking rain, being patient. The first time I got crippled, I was 14 years old. You learn to be patient, and you learn other things, like my high school coach gave me papain, muscle relaxants, because the muscle was in constant spasm because of the fracture. It was, and that's where I found out that this enzyme that they extract from not ripe papaya, you can find videos on it. The ripe papaya doesn't have it, but this papain enzyme breaks down proteins. And one of the things I learned, this coach, Bud Sweet, showed up with, and I think old Liggett showed up, and they said, here, take some of this, because they knew I was in pain, they knew I was fucked up, and actually my brother may have told them I did have a spinal fracture. But one thing I learned very quickly is that this protein breaking down enzyme, papain, it not only does it relax muscle and all sorts of things, it will relax your heart to where if you sit up suddenly or stand up, you'll fucking pass out from that shit. Papain I think is great in toothpaste, in combination with citric acid. It's called citroxane, or Rembrandt used to, and then Oral-B bought it up and changed the formula. There's almost no, but they use that papain for a lot of applications, including industrial and shit. And I really don't think people should be using it as a muscle relaxer or consuming it. You should definitely not be consuming unripe papaya or the juices. There's obviously apparently a lot of money in that collection of and production of papain. But I learned my lesson early on is it didn't take much, and the first time that I had been taking it, I was trying to relax and stuff. And when I sat up and stood up to get out of bed and shit like that, I fucking really blacked out and just sat back down and laid down real quickly. My heart didn't produce the pressure for me to stand up. It was so. After that, fuck the papain. It went in the trash. Yeah, smart dude. Yeah, I don't think anybody uses papain as a muscle relaxant anymore because it'll knock your ass out. I'll see you guys later. 36 minutes. I'm out.